All right, today we're here with Merrick.
Nice to meet you.
Merrick's usually on that side of the camera. Today he's in front for this special presentation. As you guys know, the most requested video by a long shot is actually selling the deal. How do you sell yourself as somebody that's capable to broker these large transactions to companies looking to get a broker involved? Most people on this channel have already seen the oil and gas video, so we're going to be doing it based on that one. For this example, Merrick will be somebody that sells oil and gas, and I will be me, some guy trying to sell him on the fact that I'm going to cold email a bunch of countries that do not have access to oil and gas that will pay a premium for his product. Usually what I'll do off the top is give a short introduction and also set expectations for how the rest of the call will go. This allows you to take what I like to call frame. This is the most important thing when selling high-ticket B2B sales, okay, is frame. You must control the pace of the call. You must control the direction of the call. I mean, like you need to be in control at all times. And so in order to do that, it's usually best to hop in and set the frame. Most people will hop into a call and they'll say, "Hey, Merrick, how you doing?"
Doing good, how are you?
"I'm doing well, man. Whereabouts are you based?"
I'm based in Vancouver, Canada.
"Nice, man. How's the weather out there today?"
It's pretty shitty in Vancouver most times.
"Yeah, man. Yeah, that Justin Trudeau guy, eh? He's really screwing you."
Yeah, kind of like him.
"Yeah, fair enough." Wow, okay. Well, at that point, I would hang up. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, we just did a whole bunch of dialogue for no reason. A lot of people do that. They'll hop into a call, they'll ask where the person's calling out of today. It shows that you have no value for your time. You should value your time anyways, but you should, at the very least, display that you value your time to the other person so that they know they can't mess around with you, setting the frame. So instead, I would hop into the call and be like, "Hey, Merrick, how are you?"
Doing well, how are you?
"I'm doing really well, thanks. I have about 30 minutes blocked out today for this call." Basically what you can expect. I want to get a better idea for where you guys are at in your business. I know that you guys are currently selling oil and gas. I imagine you're mostly doing it locally, but we'll kind of get into that. And then from there, I'll basically take this back to my team. I'll get an idea for if we can help you guys or not, and then we'll take it from there. Does that sound fair enough?
Sounds fair enough.
All right, so perfect. I basically went in there, I qualified who I am. I showed him that he's going to need to qualify himself to me. I didn't explain, "Hey man, yeah, my name's Alex. I'm going to send a bunch of emails for you and we have this crazy email software and da-da-da." Nobody gives a shit, okay? That's not how these sales are made. These sales are made based on trust. They need to trust the fact that you can do whatever you've offered to do for them. Now, context for this call would be that we already sent a cold email to his company saying whatever we said in that other video on oil and gas. "Hey, name, we have buyers of oil and gas in countries like A, B, C, and D, and they're buying at a premium right now because they can't get access locally. Is this worth a further discussion?" He hops in. He already knows what the context is when he's in here. "This is how the call is going to go. I only have this amount of time for this call. And then does that sound good?" You know, that's kind of a Jordan Belfordism. You don't have to say sound fair enough. I did that for the people that'll get it. But anyways, once you do that, and you've had that little intro and you dictate, you'll notice I'm dictating the call right now. The call, I'm in control here. Okay, he knows I'm in control. I know I'm in control. There's no question about it. I stuttered a little bit, but you know, usually on a call, I will not stutter at all. You keep it just completely straight line. So I've said to him, "Hey, this is how the call is going to go. Sound fair enough?" He said yes. Then you hop into questions. Okay. So, Merrick, would you mind telling me a little bit more about your business?
Yeah, so primarily we're only trading gas and oil in Canada. It's usually through our network. We do a bit of cold calling, a bit of personal cold email.
Yeah, so Merrick, would you mind telling me a little bit about your business, just high level?
It's my dad's business. We're based out of Alberta. We do a little bit of fracking, and we have about 200 employees, and most of our business is coming locally at the moment.
Perfect. So they're probably going to give you a little bit of pushback. Potentially. It happens quite often. You know, people may not like that you rushed into the call. If somebody does that, you give them a quick 2 sentences on who you are, what you do. "I'm not actually sure whether we can work together. I obviously don't work with everybody, so I just want to get a better idea for the business today, a little bit about the revenues, how you guys are actually acquiring business, and just kind of go into more detail, again, so that I can actually go back to my team and have the discussion with them as to whether or not this is going to be a good fit." Does that sound fair?
Sounds good.
Handled. Didn't tell them to fuck off, which some guys will do. They'll think, "Oh, I need the frame. And then they'll just like push the guy away. You don't need to push him away. Just don't let him start grilling you with questions. So then we come back. He's told me a little bit about his business. It's been in his family for a while. They have 200 employees. He's getting most of his business locally. Okay, so he's probably selling to like oil distributors. I think. I don't know a lot about the oil industry. I think that's how it would work. That's pretty much the majority of the context that I have at this point. Now, what you are trying to do in these calls is get to the nitty-gritty of the business. If you don't understand the business, how the hell can you understand how to help that business? You are not trying to pull the wool over their eyes and quickly slip them a piece of paper for them to sign and get them to wire the invoice information. Okay? The point of business is to provide value to people. But you can't do that if you're so busy selling them that you don't even understand what you're helping them with. So once he's answered this initial question of high level, give me your business, and he gave a short description because it's not his business, this is fake. Okay, sorry to break it to you. But in a real call, that person will usually give me like 15 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, but like a solid 5 minutes of background on themselves. Okay? My dad always told me, super introverted guy, he always told me talking to people is easy. You just ask them questions about themselves. Because people love talking about themselves, and it's true. They do. So I know guys that learn from me, and then they'll get the person to talk the entire call. The whole call, 30 fucking minutes straight of the other person talking. And the reason that you do that is because people only trust you when they feel like you know them really well. Nobody really trusts you because they know a lot about you, but people will trust you if you know a lot about them, because then they feel like you know them. And so that's the name of this game. So he gave us a short answer. It's been in my family for a while. There's a handful of employees, blah, blah, blah. And then I would do the analysis of, okay, what do I need to know in order to help this business? So it's interesting. So you said that you're getting most of your business right now locally. What does that look like for you guys?
Our biggest referrers are long-standing clients. We're talking decades. Many of them midstream companies and distributors that we've been working for, as I said, for decades.
Interesting. Okay, so I have no idea what the fuck midstream means. I would literally have GPT up on one side, sales call on the other, GPT style. And I would literally ask them, what is midstream distributors? How does this work? And then it would pull it up. That's what I did when I started in finance years ago. I would have sales call one side, GPT up on the other side. That's just the name of the game. That's how you learn. Okay, so he said, he's got a bunch of these referrals, old referral partners, da-da-da. I'm going to kind of lean off of that. What I would do, again, you are trying to build a full picture. Think of each and every sales call as a puzzle where you are trying to build a full vision of the company that you are speaking to so that you have a deep understanding of that business so that you can actually make proper recommendations and understand their pain points and the whole business front to back. Okay, this is probably the easiest way. You go into GPT and then it will give you all of the questions that you need to ask. Interesting. So how long have you guys actually been in business at this point?
Well, it was passed down from my grandfather to my father. So we're looking at just over 40 years now.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. So about how many barrels of oil per day do you guys actually produce?
Per day, that would be a lot of math, but we do about 10 million barrels a month.
Okay, that makes sense. And what's your guys' cost per barrel?
Jet A1, we're looking at about 5,000. So for crude oil, we're looking at about $60, $65 a barrel, depending on the month. And then for Jet A1, we're looking at 88 to 92 range.
Interesting. And what are you guys actually getting for that oil on average in the market?
Across the board, we're looking at anywhere between 5 and 15%. Our margins this year will be around 10%. Last year, it was 8%, but then the year before that, it was 15%. So it really varies between 5 to 15%, depending on the year.
Interesting. Okay, so now I have a good idea of what his margins are, which is good to know because it also tells you how much money he probably has once we ask the next question, which is, what is your revenue? Which is what you'll ask. We have the fact that it's a family business. It's been passed down for a long time. They have absolutely no communication with the outside world. I would ask him, have you ever used a broker before? A lot of these guys in these small towns, maybe they don't use brokers very often. I don't know the landscape in oil well enough to say for certain what this discovery call might look like. I'm just giving you guys an example for you to work off of in the future. So with that being said, what is your revenue right now?
Last year in 2023, we did 1.2 billion. We're projected to do just about 1.3 billion this year.
Interesting. And right now, would you guys even be able to handle more output?
Oh, definitely. We got the oil for it. That's for sure.
See, that's a good one because it qualifies him and it has him thinking, shit, this guy could bring me more output. So you're planting the seed in his head already that he could be doing more output if he worked with you. But I didn't say anything. I didn't say I can bring you more. I didn't say anything. I just planted the seed in his little head. And then don't harp on it. Move on. Move the fuck on. Find out more information about the business. Is this like because you guys are in Alberta, right? Like, is this a seasonal business? Because I know it's tough out in Alberta. Is this seasonal? Is this constant? Does the flow change? What's the vibe there?
Well, it really depends on the season, obviously. In the winter, we see it slow down a little bit just because of all the snow. But basically 10 months year round, we're running at full production.
Okay, interesting. What's the average transaction size that you guys are doing right now?
Average transactions is anywhere between 35 and 50 million. As I said before, we don't have a big client list, but we do work with a select few long-term clients that have been getting oil from us for a very long time.
Okay, and have you guys ever tried to scale this up before?
Well, we've increased our production, if that's what you're asking.
No, I mean, like, have you guys gone and tried to acquire additional clients yourselves?
Well, yeah, we've asked for referrals from our existing clients before, for sure.
Right, and do those referrals usually come through for you guys?
On a yearly basis, we'll get a few, yeah.
Okay, interesting. And how many clients around do you guys have right now?
About 11. We're hoping to close a 12th in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, cool. So pretty low client base. What are your guys' costs involved with production currently?
We have 5 to 15% margins, so our costs would be anywhere between 85 to 95%, and that usually has to do with taking the oil out of the actual ground. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that includes a lot of production, a lot of labor, and right now for crude oil, for example, it's costing us about $40 a barrel.
Who are you guys actually selling? Like, what is the profile of the buyer that you guys are selling to?
With the 11 clients we currently have, it's refineries and primarily aviation companies that require Jet A1 fuel.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, look, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this back to my team. We kind of have like a minimum transaction size that we generally like to work within. I think you guys are kind of, you guys are riding that threshold, but I think that we might be able to help you. I can't really make any calls on that until I actually speak with the team. So let me speak with them. Also see if we have anybody in our direct Rolodex that would be interested and what the odds are that when we go out to the public, we'll be able to garner you guys significant interest. What I'm gonna do is after this call, I'll send you guys over some materials just outlining how the process works, who exactly we are, and what this will look like moving forward, what next steps would look like if we do decide to take you guys on. And then from there, we'll basically just go through the motions. Right now it's 9:45 p.m. on a Monday. We started at about 9:30. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is like I said, I'll go back to my team. I'll talk to them, see if they're interested in working with you guys. And then I'm going to set up a call at the same time on Wednesday, so 2 days from now at the same time. Does that work for you?
Yeah, but what would we cover in that call?
We're basically gonna go over the findings of my team internally and whether or not we actually think we can take you guys on. And then if we can, what those next steps would look like. And if not, what are the hurdles that are stopping us from being able to work together? Does that sound fair enough?
Okay, yeah, that sounds okay.
All right, cool. So I put that in your calendar. You'll see it right there. And I look forward to speaking then. So you guys will notice that I didn't really qualify us as a business. I'm going to do that in the post-discovery call information. If you guys want a template for post-discovery call information, go down below and type post-discovery, comment post-discovery. I then also let them know that, look, I don't know if this will be a good fit. I'm not diving right in. I'm not promising him anything. I'm not over the moon exhilarated, right? I've maintained a very calm demeanor throughout the call, professional, just asking him questions so that I can slowly build out that puzzle. Now, this is just an example call. Usually I would ask a lot more questions and the answers would be a lot more thorough. So what we just did in when edited, probably 5 to 10 minutes, would actually be more like a 25, 30-minute call, because he would give me much longer in-depth answers, and I might ask significantly more questions to get a more rounded view of his business. And so that's really the point, though, of this call is get in there, be concise, set the tone, make sure that they understand that you're controlling the conversation. Control the conversation by asking questions, build rapport and trust by asking questions. Once you have that trust and that rapport built between you and the other person, it becomes a lot easier for you guys to gain their trust and have them look at you as an authority figure, which is what you want. You guys want to do a little pullback, make it clear to them that you still have to check over with their team, see if it's even something that you can take on so that they feel the need to qualify themselves to you further. And then what I might also ask for at the end of that call is for them to send me some materials. Do you guys have any marketing materials right now? What do you guys send to your customers? Please send that over to me. Okay. And then if they don't have those materials, oh, great, I can help you make those. But it gives you then, again, that frame. They have to come back to you and qualify themselves as somebody that you would want to work with. So they're going to send you over those materials. The last bit there that you cannot miss on calls is same time, 2 days later. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's a universal rule, but pretty much everybody is always available 2 days later at the same time. And what you are doing with that is setting up railroad tracks for you and the prospect to follow all the way through the sale. You guys want to make sure that you hit those major points. There's 4 or 5 major points there. Set the frame, ask discovery questions to get a full understanding of the business, pull back, got to go back to the team, set up a follow-up call. Step 5 would be send them over post-discovery call information. And again, if you want the template for post-discovery call information, go down below and comment post-discovery. So this is kind of a high-level, quick overview of how you guys would perform discovery calls for any of these offers that I'm posting about. As always, I'm Alex Astry. This is how you can make your first $1 million a month. If you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys drop a comment down below on what additional information you guys might want, and make sure to smash that like button. Thank you guys very much.